Thinking that as well. I just started the record.
Great. So I'll take that opportunity to call the meeting to order. Today's date is October 28th, and we're having our staff meeting by Teams. And the first order of business is to approve the agenda, which is fairly brief this month, which we do have one early discharge case to review. And we have a brief executive session for a personnel issue. And anything else that anyone would have to add this morning? If anyone has anything they'd like to add to the agenda, go ahead and let me know.
Not me.
Okay. So I don't hear anything then, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Make a motion that we approve the agenda as submitted.
I'll second it.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. So our first item up is to review the early discharge case from Cynthia Pinero. And I hope everyone had a chance to look at the file on this case. It's very interesting. And I know, Pat, you were one of the 3 board members there. And
Yes.
so you may want to just quickly review with what happened. It was kind of an odd case because it was one where we granted parole, then it was appealed to the
The
Supreme
month
Court.
before, I think.
Yeah, it was.
And then the
Appealed to the
Supreme
Sup-
Court got involved. Yeah.
They overturned the case, and then it came back to the board because the courts, for some reason, did not follow whatever was given by the Supreme Court. I couldn't follow that.
Yeah. But
So you had-
she shot her boyfriend. It was
Yeah.
kind of a strange thing. She said he was trying to break in the house, but she had a gun and she had called him. I think he was in Rhode Island, and she was gonna shoot his dog and the cats, and he showed up to the house in the middle of the night, I believe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she met him at the door, and then she said he broke in, but she shot him, and it was bizarre.
Tripped over a hassock. Yeah,
She was older at the time. I
Yeah.
think she was in her 60s.
63, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was weird.
Yeah.
But I was telling Dean, I listened to the audio of your hearing, and then what Dick said was quite interesting.
Yeah.
He said that he never seen such a miscarriage of justice, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was kind of telling. But the
Well,
only thing I had with it was the victim. They said he was a skier in Jay, and the restitution. I don't know if she's on Social Security. I don't know if she ever paid anything.
It doesn't appear that she paid anything, but I looked at the offender file, and on her old risk assessment, she was a -4.
Yeah, I saw that.
So-
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah.
extremely low. Yeah.
Yeah.
She had no other criminal history.
Nope.
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 Anyone have any questions or comments on this?
I wondered about the restitution. Nothing was said, and
Yeah.
I wondered, it didn't indicate that she had paid anything. It didn't look like it.
Well, we didn't have a restitution report with the file as far as I
No.
could see.
I just
No.
looked at her restitution, and
If we schedule a hearing, we should get an updated restitution report. Yeah,
yes, I'll
And
make a
even though-
motion that we schedule a hearing.
okay.
I second it. We also would like to see at least they made an effort to contact the victim. You
Yeah.
know, I
Yeah,
don't think there's.
Michael Wise.
Yeah, they should
Yeah.
at least make an effort so we have it on the record that they.
Okay,
Yes.
Yeah,
so, yeah, the motion is
agree
made
with
and seconded to schedule a hearing. We would want an updated restitution report and to have the appeal reach out to the victim if that's possible and get something from that person. Any other discussion on that?
So just to let you know, we would, if you schedule a hearing, we would automatically get a updated restitution report because we get a restitution report for anybody on our schedules.
Mhm.
So we don't need to request that.
Any other discussion?
The only other discussion I have, historically, if people haven't paid restitution, we haven't given them early discharge. Just throwing that out there.
Unless they're paying on it,
Right, let's be paying on it, right?
It
Let's be
wasn't
paying on
documented,
it.
yeah.
Good. There's nothing further. All those in favor of scheduling a hearing for Cynthia Panaria signify by saying aye.
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 Bye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you. Next item on our agenda is to move to an executive session to discuss a personnel issue.
Make a motion, we move to
Entertain a
executive
motion
session.
for the board to
Second.
enter, and I don't believe we have any other guests other than the staff and the board. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Bye.
Okay. So we're back from executive session. No decisions were made. Opportunity for a quick roundtable. Sam, anything for the board today?
I conducted a hearing with Dean last week. That was fun.
Yeah, you did a great job.
No violations, so it's hopefully smooth.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens from there, but that was my roundtable input.
Thanks. Wayne, do you have anything?
Yeah, my global connect is not connecting. It's getting a little frustrating.
Well, you're still online. That's a good
Yeah,
thing.
but I can't open any DOC stuff and look at cases, so I got a problem
You may-
here.
You'll have to call the help desk.
If
Call
you
a
click
rec-
We
on
know
the-
that's not the answer you want, but
You tried
if you
restarting
click
it
on the
this way?
Global Connect,
Pardon?
if you click on the Global Connect icon,
Yeah,
does it say connecting?
no, it says network connection is unable.
Yeah.
Unreachable or the portal unresponsive. Shut the network connection and reconnect. I've refreshed
Yeah.
this thing about 18 times since I've been
So-
sitting here.
so
And
you can either,
When I
so
signed
I
on,
would,
could I? Oh, Jesus. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Wayne, I would restart your computer after this meeting. If that still doesn't fix it, then you'll have to call the help desk.
That was
I know
my
Colby
plan.
was,
but-
Colby was having issues too.
Yeah. I did yesterday and I just shut it down and then restarted it and it connected somehow.
Well, that was my plan. I think it reloaded a whole
Seems
bunch
like a
of
good
stuff when I
plan.
opened it up this morning because it sat there and spun for about 8 minutes before it actually opened to a
Yeah.
desktop. So
Wow.
Okay. Katie, anything this morning?
No, I've noticed, I don't know about anybody else, but the hearing dates that I was on this month, I noticed that they were it was really harder for me to decide. It could have gone either way. So it was probably the month that it's happened the most in for me. So I really have appreciated the deliberative sessions because sometimes just kind of hearing it out and other people's
Yeah.
opinions. So,
Talking through it.
yeah, because there was quite a few cases this month where I was just like, oh, I just don't, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
there were so
Struggle.
many sides of the fence it could have gone on for me
Sure.
when I weighed out everything.
coin tossers.
Yeah, so, and that doesn't happen as much often, I think, except I've just noticed it a lot more this month. So, I think when we're in deliberative sessions, I think it's very much appreciated for me. The more
Yeah.
that people give input, the better, so that it kind of helps me really sort of weigh it
Absolutely.
out.
And that's, we obviously had a lot of very difficult cases and a lot of cases this month. And to be able to hear everything, ask your questions, and then talk to the other board members before making a decision is a good thing, unless it's clear cut. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Tom?
No, the only issue I have is Jill needs to stay out of parole violation hearings. If she does show up, she keep her mouth shut. I'm sick of it. I mean, she's sticking her nose in things that she should not be sticking her nose into. And that's been a recurring theme lately, and
I
I don't
think I
care.
shut her down at the last hearing. She wanted to
Yeah.
talk and I told her no.
Yeah. But she should not be, I mean, somebody should tell her boss, stay in her lane.
Yeah.
That's,
Parole hearing. It was your case. The one where she cut you off.
Oh, Jill.
Yes.
I didn't hear who he said.
Sorry, I was clarifying with Sam.
I didn't hear who you said.
Yeah, Jill.
It was a case where Sam's questioning got cut off.
that irked
He
me
cut
too.
off your
so.
questioning?
Yeah, so we're interviewing the offender and I was asking questions and then she came in and said, well, if I can assist here. And she kind of went down her own rabbit hole.
She needs to
Have
stay, she's getting worse.
Yeah.
She needs to stay in her lane and somebody needs to tell her that.
Hmm.
I mean,
Well,
how
I
about-
think at the time, I think the big thing I would just recommend is that the chair stop it as soon as it happens, and then allow them to help out
Mhm.
when it's their appropriate time.
And I think I did stop her. She
Later,
wanted,
much later.
oh,
She went
Whatever.
down. You stopped her when she wanted to question somebody who was on the telephone. It was
The mother
quite a
or
while
something.
later.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if she has any legal recourse in a hearing of that nature.
She does not.
So,
We have been pretty gracious about letting Prisoners' Rights Office provide information, which we should do if they have information,
Yep.
but not to represent the person.
Mm.
And it's a
And that's
fine
what
line
she-
between
yeah.
that.
and that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
That's all. That's my only complaint, I guess.
Okay. Pat?
I really don't have anything. I agree with Katie about the deliberative sessions because it does help to talk out, the things you've got in your head and you don't know which way to go. And we know we have to go one way or the other. So I agree, Katie, that it's important to have the deliberative sessions. And I know sometimes we get sick of saying, I want to have a deliberative session, but I think it's important to talk it out.
Yeah.
And Sam, anytime you want to sit in on or do some of my hearings, feel free.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Pat. Angela?
No, just back on like what Katie and Pat were saying. I find the deliberative sessions helpful because, I review the cases the night before or the day before, and I make all my notes, and then I'll go over it in the morning, and I'm looking through them during the hearing. But there's just so much, like especially this past week, there were so many hearings. There's just so much like info that it's a good way. Like when we have ours, that I might be missing something. So it's a good way to kind of regroup my thoughts so they're not kind of spread out all over the place. Because and like this past week, there was definitely some points that I saw when I was reading all the case files, but then, after hearing them and going through everything, I just kind of forget that like piece, and it's important not to. So it's been very helpful for me as well.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So, and the other thing too, and if we have a case which is clear cut and somebody makes the motion to approve or deny, and you're not sure, don't second that motion and just ask for a deliberative session, because it's important that we all be on the same page. And if we're not clear about that, then it's good to have a discussion and then make the decision.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Yep. Thank you. How's your computer today, Angela?
Well, I'm way behind on my personal work, so I brought my laptop to my kitchen, and the Wi-Fi here is all messed up. So, but I think the laptop's better now. I haven't had any issues.
Good.
So far, so good.
Great. Thank you. MJ, did you have anything else?
Sure. I'm going to go down the deliberative train for a second, since we've been on it. The one thing that, as an outsider sitting into deliberatives, I just want to remind folks, the talkers, to be cognizant of the non-talkers, because oftentimes the talkers take over the sessions and don't
Mm.
allow the non-talkers to speak, or feel like they gotta hurry up because they haven't had a chance. So I just be cognizant of who's with you, and maybe kind of trying to give people time to also state their opinion too. I think we do a good job, but sometimes there's definitely some in the group, which is normal, that speak a lot more than others, and it may put some undue pressure on others to maybe not say as much. So just that one thing, just to be cognizant of. The other one, something that I don't want to go into today, but it's something that we need to think about. I've said this before. I don't know how all the board members are feeling, but this new public safety landscape is concerning to me to a degree, because I don't feel necessarily all the DOC staffing and the different committee decisions are always clear. So a lot of times you may have somebody in front of you that might be a good candidate for parole based on your SCMF, but they don't have a release plan because they had a release plan, and then the release plan went away because whatever committee said, no, we're not releasing them at DOC. So at some point, I think we as a board need to work some of that out of how do we deal with that? Because it's kind of like, I feel like we've gone in shifts. We've gone in one shift of 5 years ago where the board wanted people out on furlough doing well before they parole because it was a step down status. Then we went into another shift after Justice Reinvestment 2 where people were coming before the board without necessarily a concrete release plan, but the board was setting conditions potentially to release them to an approved residence or so forth. And then their release plan was coming together. Then they were getting released. And now I feel like we're going back to, again, a little bit more of, for a while we were getting great release plans because DOC was getting ready to release them together in conjunction, either on furlough or parole. And now we're getting folks without release plans because they did all the work, got everything together, and now there's another committee saying, no, you can't get out for what, and then there's work for them to do. And what's that work? And I feel like, to me, that work is not always clear. So I think that's a bigger conversation in the coming months that I think as a board we should have. I don't know how others feel, because to me, it's all confusing. And if I was an incarcerated individual, I'd be super confused.
Yeah, MJ, I'm glad you mentioned that because it bothered me last week. The guy was ready to get out. He had a plan, a place to live, even employment. But then he was declared RSN, so they automatically put him on for a year. And I'm thinking to myself, now if I say something, they're gonna we parole him. It's gonna be all hell to pay. But he had a plan in place which was supported by what the caseworker put in. And because he was designated RSN, which we're not supposed to think about or use, he now got a year on his sentence, which is going to be in the plan. The sad part is the plan when he gets out, as he said, is going to be a plan that was presented originally, which they can't use anymore. Mm-hmm. So I thought that one bothered me when we got done because I said, if we go against corrections on this one, it's going to be, you'll be getting the phone calls from, up the 5th floor.
Yes, I agree. I also found a lot of non-recommendeds this month. That's what
that's all you're going to get.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to get going forward, probably.
Which made me wonder what's going to happen if we didn't in any of the ones that I did this month, but what happens when we go against that? What is that going to look like?
It's not so much that we go against it, but we make our own independent decisions. And we have our risk assessment tool that we use, the SDMF part of that, our interview. And if we make a decision to grant parole, then it's not about going against DOC. It's making a decision based on the evidence that we have.
Well, we know that, so but are they going to see it that way?
They have to. That's Part of the problem is sometimes they'll release information to the public, which makes it look like they didn't support this, but we did. But we can back that up with our decision-making tools. The
Yes,
SDMS in
exactly.
particular.
Mm.
And
And you're
have done.
and I think, oh, sorry, Dean. I thought you were done.
And
Sorry.
that, and despite, there obviously is a move looking at accountability and repeat offenders and all of that sort of thing in public safety, which we consider as well. There's no question about that. But if we find someone that is a good candidate to be on parole supervision, then we should move down that direction and not be declining to make that decision because we're worried about it going against their recommendation.
Mm.
But how, I'll interrupt for a second, but how they phrased this case that bothered me.
Yeah.
No, he did not score, his sheet was pretty bad. But how they phrased it, they no longer he had no approved plan. Okay,
Yeah.
start with it, because the plan was moved out. And it was how they wrote up the summary was certainly was a negative.
Yeah.
But it could have easily been a positive if he was an RSN, they would have written it differently.
Right.
So that's the rub.
But as we know, there's going to be a lot more RSN cases now.
Oh yeah.
So, and I respect that. At the same time, it's our jobs to look at the total picture and then make a decision as to whether community supervision on parole is where we should be going.
And I think if you do make the decision to grant parole on someone, I think basing it based on your tool, your SCMF tool, and at the bottom putting your reasons for it, I think are what's going to save us. I think we're grounded in evidence-based. We need to use it, and at the time, if we get the media, the fifth floor, whoever, that's when the chair and I will go and explain it. It's at that point, if you feel strongly that a case should be paroled and you've got the backing, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
You're an independent body to make those decisions. That's why I think something we need to start thinking about and have further discussions on.
Absolutely. Great.
Because it's not an easy, and I can tell you from yesterday spending some time with some DOC staff members at a conference, it's not easy for the staff members either. It's the whole department is having a really hard time with all of this. And that might be why some of the summaries are coming across the way they are. You may not be getting the information that you would normally get.
Yeah, no question about it. But we will continue to do our work and make our interviews and make our decisions based on the evidence we determine is appropriate. Good point, Tony. Okay, anything else from anybody? All right.
Dean, do you have anything for roundtable?
Well, I've been kind of throwing it out there as I go along. So. Well, I'm going to be working on the schedule. As I said, I'll get that out this week. And beyond that, I think we're good. We have had a lot of cases this past month. Several of the hearings, we had a lot of cases. And I appreciate the work the staff is doing, getting everything ready for us.
One of them we had several times.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I appreciate everybody's help in getting through all of those, because those are long days. Even though we try to get through by noon, there's a lot of work getting prepared for that. And it's a lot of work getting yourself prepared for each one of those. When there's 5 or 6, it's not as bad, but when you have 10 or 12, it's a lot to remember and get into. So I appreciate that.
We appreciate you.
All right, if there's nothing further, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
I'll
moved.
make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion's made and seconded. We're all in favor.
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.
Hi.
Bye.